Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our show. It is the Boss family, the beautiful melanated family. We are just all the great things in the world. Yes. Okay. So today we're talking about season 11, episode 2, A Married at First Sight. You already know about the title, but we're going to get into it. We have a few things. We're talking about the best dress, the worst dress, the best vows, who was emotional, too emotional, whose family we like, all of that. So stay tuned. Okay. So first we're going to talk about how Woody and
No,
Mouse.
start at the beginning.
What?
Oh, go ahead. Never mind. I don't know what you was about to say.
How Woody and Miles both try to put on this plum suit and how they both look at a plum fool in a plum suit.
I did not like that suit. I was really upset when Miles was like, "I want to make her knees buckle," and I was like, "Nobody shaking, nobody trembling. That ain't making nobody buckle with that maroon suit." Not saying he not attractive, but that wasn't it.
And it was just
No,
so funny to me how they're friends and they both wanted to wear this purple suit. Like, what is
A
with this
mess,
Barney thing going on?
a mess, a whole mess.
no. What gets me is that not only did he pick the purple suit, Miles, he wore the purple jacket with blue pants. Why was he wearing navy pants?
They were navy.
Those were navy pants because he had a black tie on, and the black tie was way blacker than the navy blue pants.
No wonder she was crying.
Sheer disappointment. Sheer disappointment.
Yeah, that was not a look. Like, that was probably the worst. Like, Miles is beautiful. His heart is great. But that fashion decision,
Navy blue pants.
that fashion choice was garbage. Okay? Garbage.
I did like Woody's suit though. Like Woody looked nice. Even Brett um unattractive. So I'm trying to tread it lightly because that's somebody's child still.
She was gonna
But
call him everything but a child of God.
even Brett's outfit was nice on him for him.
Backhanded compliments. So should I? Do you feel like? Did you like the fashion? What is your opinion on the fact that we had the Barney suit going on with Miles? What did you? What do you? And
I
do you
didn't know. I didn't know I was supposed to take notes on how they look like. I really didn't pay attention, to be honest, and I kind of don't remember. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
boring? Okay, Leilani, what do you think?
Okay, you said hold on, I was holding on. Listen, Miles, he can wear whatever he want to wear. No, I'm still stuck on. We saw a little glimpse, but Bennett and Amelia, what they was wearing, especially Amelia. I liked Bennett's suit
Could have
actually,
wore
but
his hat. Y'all, they
Wait,
could have let Kennedy free.
no, we're not wearing that hat.
Wait, y'all.
No,
Before we get there,
no.
I want to say something.
You get a bird,
about
I
Miles real quick.
get a hat.
no, I'm saying I told him I was like I don't want him to wear the hat, but once I saw the bird's nest, I'm like, oh, he could have worn it. He could have done it. She would have been.
No.
Because I was not for that hat, but the second I saw her with that bird's nest in her hair, I was like, he could have worn a hat. He.
I thought Amelia looked so adorable. She looked so whimsical and cute. I would never wear that dress or that bird's nest.
Or the earrings.
Or the earrings, but it fit her. Okay, it fit her. It was great for her personality. But I think Sharif had a comment. Which can I say, Sharif?
First of all, y'all need to leave a little baby alone. I like the dress. I feel like the accessories pulled together because when I first seen the dress, I was like, this is boring. I don't. There's nothing special about this dress. But after she put it together, I was like, okay, look at you looking like somebody bride.
Anyways, Sharif, what you got to say?
Exactly.
I just want to say that Miles kind of looks like he valet cars for like the Ritz Carlton or something. He dressed like somebody just handing him the keys, like, okay, bring my car around the block. I'll be back at 11. I'll be back at 11.
Yo, I'm crying.
Not back at 11. See, what got me is the back at 11. He made a specific time that he had to return the car because he knew the dinner would be over and he would need his car back.
He called my boy Miles a valet.
He said back at 11, back at 11.
Oh, that made my stomach hurt.
The best part of his outfit was his smile, and let's leave it at that.
Okay, so who do we vote as the worst dress? Do we vote Amelia as the worst dress or Miles as the worst dress? I say
Miles, landslide. Blue pants, plum shirt. Plum suit,
Miles.
whatever. No.
And Miles didn't have a lineup, and Miles didn't have a shape up. How y'all best friends and you don't share your barber? I don't think Woody liked him for real, because you should have shared your barber with your friend, because he didn't have nobody's lineup. He was out there looking like himself.
Well, I feel like the fact that they both getting married is kind of sad because they can't be at each other's weddings. And then they gotta split their friends between weddings. That's kind of sucks. So maybe that's why Woody didn't share his barber, because he's like, at least I can outshine you by having a fresh fade, okay, having my stuff pristine. I don't know.
But
once he saw the blue pants, he would have been okay. He would have felt okay. He would have been all right.
Whoever is Woody's barber is not his real friend either, because I feel like some girl at the hair shop where he was getting lined up should have rebraided his braids. And that's all I have to say about that as well.
Sabrina's trying to be politically correct on the timeline, okay? She's trying to be nice.
You know Sabrina don't disrespect you when you say it, and that's all I have to say about that.
Right. Okay, so we've covered the worst dressed and Woody's lineup. Who are we going to vote as being the best dressed? Who do we like? I thought Karen looked incredible. She looked amazing. Her makeup was beat. Her hair was done well. Her dress put her body nice. It was pretty. She looked opulent. I thought whoever picked that out, her family, her bougie mama, they did a great job.
Okay, but Amani was blinged out. Amani had all of the accessories.
Accessories, I'm saying, it pulled everything together.
Accessories on accessories. She was blinging.
And my man Woody in that white suit was fly. You know, his hair could have been managed a little bit better, but boy, in that white suit, he was gorgeous.
That's why I was so upset about the hair braiding, because the lineup was tight. The beard looked nice. The suit was immaculate. It was fitted to him. The shoes were nice. The whole thing was on point. And then the braids looked like they had been done last week. I'm going to need whoever did that to him to apologize to us, because y'all played him and y'all not his friend. Who was best dressed is Karen. Everything was immaculate. It looked like a real wedding. Like she paid people to do that. Like she had been planning it. It didn't look like a last minute type outfit. It looked made for her. Hair was on point. Makeup was on point. Everything was on point. I need them to hire a black makeup artist who can know how to do dark skin, because Amani's shade wasn't matching.
She was cute though.
Imani is beautiful. Her spirit is so beautiful that she's gonna look good regardless. But I agree with my sister. They had a married at first sight basic artist who didn't know what they was doing with that chocolate because it could have been brought out in a lot better
She
way.
could have been so popping because whoever did her hair was popping. Because I like the little tendrils, the little crown. It was slicked back nice. They laid her edges. You right with the bling. She needed all that bling for that dress. Her figure, it could have been fitted a little bit better at the top, but her figure was popping, so it still looked nice. She looked bomb walking down the aisle, and then when you get to the pictures, the makeup just wasn't right. And I was mad because that ain't her fault at all. Like, you pick a bad dress, you pick bad accessories, but she pretty, and they had her looking casket ready.
Okay, like Michael Jackson. So, Leilani, do you feel like Karen was looking like real great? Do you agree with me and Sabrina saying she's the best dressed? What you think?
Karen was looking real pretty. I will like she was gorgeous. That dress really works for her. Like it fits her well. It's like the detailing on the sleeves and like the neckline really pretty. Like and like she did like more simple accessories. Like she went a little more sophisticated because her dress was like more detailed. So I think she looked great.
Yes. The bottom left corner, Shadai and Sharif over there, who don't even watch the episode for real. Do y'all have any opinions?
To be
Yes,
fair,
I
I'm
would
looking
just
at
like to
pictures right
say
now.
that I would just like to say that Karen looks absolutely stunning. I think that her dress is a very good staple for her wedding day. It really feels like it's her personified. A lot of times when people put together accessories, it feels like even if the dress is beautiful, maybe it doesn't really look like it really fits with them.
Like the
But with
outfit is
Karen,
wearing them.
right. But with Karen, it really feels like this dress is her like personified. It feels like it's made for her. She wears it very well. It's very it's very simple, but has a quiet delicateness to it. Very upscale. I think it's very good, like you said. It feels like she really planned this out. That even when she went through this process, she's like, okay, I just have to make sure that if nothing else is great, that the wedding is great, I look great, and that if this all goes to hell in a handbasket, at least I got some cute pictures out of it for the
At
Instagram.
least I was fine, okay? At least I was fine, period. I agree. So we have Karen overall as the best dress, and Miles has the worst dress. So between Brett, Olivia, Karen, and Miles, and Woody and Amani, who is the best couple? Who looks the best together as a whole?
Woody, 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 Woody. Woody and Imani they bounce off of each other. They just seem so like
He said,
they have a
"Look,
lot of
we being
chemistry.
superficial."
You said, huh?
Lacey said, "Who look the best together? We on superficial right now. You trying to go
Okay, well they still look
deeper?
the best together. They still look for the best together
The lie you
because I
tell."
feel like their chemistry that they have makes it seem they have like more of a they seem like natural, so they seem like they like each other more, so they seem like a better couple. You could always look at a couple and see if they don't like each other. They don't look like as good of a couple because it's like you don't see the happiness and the joy. But like with them being together, you could still see happiness and joy even though they just met. So my favorite couple has become Woody and Amani.
We saw all their outfits though. Like you off topic as I don't know what. Like we try to say so Karen is the best dressed, Miles is the worst dressed individually. So my question is who's the best dressed couple as a unit? Not if they got chemistry, not if we like them. Who is looking like Bay? Okay, who is fly? Who look good? That's the question.
Well, it's still gonna be Woody and Amani. Because I told you Woody was flying his white suit, and he, with all the accessories Amani brought with her dress, it got pulled off, and they made it pop.
I go Miles and Karen were the best looking couple together, just because you could only see his outfit kind of this way up. So like together, because she elevates they couple. I feel like I would say that Woody and Amani were best dressed if her dress would have been fitted better at the top. That's it.
Karen looks so good. Karen looks so good that it overpowers Miles in his mismatched suit, looking like a hot mess Barney. I don't, Lolani, do you agree with that? Because I don't agree with that.
I'm gonna have to side with Sam and say that it was Woody and Monty. They look good together.
The only one got some sense apparently.
Okay, let's not forget our cat people, okay? Because I think that Olivia's dress was very sparkly and that she looked beautiful. Her hair was basic, her makeup was basic, and it looked real boring. But her dress was
Honestly, Olivia didn't look that bad. She looked very cute. She looked natural. She had a glow. She was happy. Like she did not look bad at all. Like and then the dress was okay for her. But like she didn't look bad. She looked okay. She
I
looked
think
happy.
she just looked plain. She looked boring, but the dress was nice.
My phone's about to die. I'll be right back. Let me get a charger.
What do you think, Sabrina?
Thoughts and prayers to Olivia and Brett. I think they both look very boring. They look like that picture that come in a frame at Walmart. And I love Olivia, and she's a very beautiful girl. But they were very, very basic. I did not like the dress. I did not like the hair. The makeup was okay. Looked like the makeup that you would wear for a job interview. So I guess she got the job as wife. So, congratulations. You got to marry Brett.
I hate Sabrina.
This episode has changed my mind about Brett, and I feel like you guys are too hard about on Brett.
What? You're delusional. Why do you feel like episode 2 and his family or whatever makes up for his actions at the bachelor party?
When can't nobody in his own family say nothing but if he get angry, feed him. That's his good quality. If
First
he
of all,
get angry, take him for a walk. He ain't a puppy. He a grown man.
you do you know why? Because when I see Brett's family, I see our family. When they said she has to be comfortable with being roasted constantly, I thought about anyone I would ever talk to and bring them around y'all.
But what does that have to do with the fact that Brett is trash? How does
Because
that prove
time out. Because this is what it
him?
is. This is what it is. Brett had the best wedding vows to me. I feel like Brett's vows were the most passionate and the most open and honest and the most like they just sound the sweetest. I ain't gonna lie. Brett's vows were to me were the best.
So basically, he's blowing a smoke screen and he sounds good, but he ain't about nothing. That's what boys that are trash do. They talk a good game, but they have nothing to back up the game they talk. And that's period.
First of all, no. It was he sounds the most genuine out of everyone that he's willing to just make this work. And that he's genuinely attracted to the person he's with. And that he's genuinely like excited about the future that he's gonna have with this person. Yes, there's gonna be some
He
bumps
was
in the road.
lying. You know how I know he was lying? He was lying because as soon as she walked down the aisle, he did like this. He was not excited. He didn't do a cheese. He was just like, there she go. Yep, that's her. All right, I guess.
This who you gave me. This is who I got. That was his attitude. Okay, his words is
And
just
yet you're okay
words.
with Miles and Karen? Because I feel like that's the way Karen looks at Miles.
Karen, I have more empathy for Karen because Karen is just concerned. Brett is trash. Karen has concerns. Karen has questions, but Brett is garbage. Okay. And I don't feel like the two can be compared. I feel like she has a natural worry because of the situation. And even though in the last episode, Sabrina was saying, you know what you sign up for, at the end of the day, once you get to the nitty gritty, it's just a little bit different. So I feel like we owe Karen some grace. But Brett is a hoe.
That's disrespectful. Why does Karen get grace and Brett's got to be shamed for chilling?
Because Karen wasn't trying to talk to none of the bridesmaids' boyfriends at the bachelorette party. That's why.
He also looked a little constipated. Brett looked like he's trying to hold something back every time he popped up the screen a little bit. Like he'd be making them little nervous, like side gestures and stuff. So I was a little bit worried about his like digestive system and whatnot. Maybe he get a stomach ache because he know he's not supposed to be here right now.
Did you say constipated? This is hilarious. Okay, let me just say, this is funny. Okay.
I will say that episode painted Brett in a better light than the first episode because like all the couples meshed well like at their meetings, all of them were like, chilling. But I will say this one, if I hadn't seen the first one and had just seen this one, I would think Brett is a better person than I think he is.
I just feel like those are being too hard on Brett.
I will say Olivia and Brett, maybe it's like Olivia gives me quinceanera vibes. Like her whole look, it looks like she going to like a quinceanera or something. Maybe like a job office, like an office, like Christmas party or something. The dress is very basic. Like she looked fine, but it don't look like she getting married. It looked like, oh, we had an extra like $100,000 of revenue, so let's have a cocktail party.
I'm done.
I'm low-key offended for all my friends and they quinceañeras because they was looking good at their quinceañeras. Okay, they was looking snap. Okay,
Not true. That dresses, quince dresses.
do not play about their quince. Okay,
Quince dresses be.
they nails done, they be beat, they be having their eyelashes together, they be looking good. Okay, so don't play our Mexican sisters. Okay, don't play our Mexican sisters.
They be 16. Doing too much.
16? Quince?
Clearly he's uneducated. Okay.
15, hun.
And that just proves my point. 15, and we got hair, nails, makeup, quince, wedding dresses.
I am also 15. I've been to a quince. I was invited to more than one, but one of them was just too far away. That was not happening.
I went to a quince. Then I left the house and had to sleep in the car.
Question. Who had the best wedding pictures together?
I thought that Karen and Miles with their family, like their family was very like supportive and they like had a lot of people there as well. So the picture looked very full and very authentic, like a regular wedding. So I'll say them. I really enjoyed their pictures. And it was very natural.
I will say they look like they could be one of those couples on like a magazine. They were very photogenic people. They look like they could be on like a Jet magazine, an Essence cover. Like if I were to see them on like an issue, I wouldn't be mad, and I would feel like I'd be drawn into the issue because I think that together, at least visually, aesthetically, they look really well together. It looks like they're finding their footing together, they're meshing. And sure, of course, they're still in the early stages, but I do think there is something there with them.
So how do you guys feel about like when Karen was at the altar and she literally like broke down and was hyperventilating and about to die, crying in front of Miles and like that whole scene? Like what you think about that whole scene?
His reaction was great. He was so great. He was like, "You need tissue. You need some." He's amazing. I love him. He was really out here just being a shoulder for her, lean on. This man don't even know her. I love him.
I don't like her dramatic self because she was crying from disappointment, not from happiness, not from nerves, not from joy. Not She was pure disappointed. It was pure disappointment. She's like, I'm up here in this dress with all my family, and I don't like it.
But
Also, the way he reacted to finding out that he had been stalked, also gold.
Hold up. Pause on that. We're gonna go back into like his reaction to find out he was stalked. I want to ask Sabrina, what do you think about when she broke down crying and his reaction to the whole situation?
I agree with Samuel. She got up there and was like, "Welp." He got on blue pants, and then she started crying.
I just think that with the whole situation, with like being married, I just think that we have to still like take into consideration that there are just so many conflicting emotions all at the same time where you're just like experiencing so much at once that perhaps maybe in the sense that like she doesn't have a grip on how she feels currently yet. So it's just like because she's just so caught up in the process, having to work through everything, especially it being so public with it being on national TV, her really like documenting something that's thought to be more of an intimate celebration. Perhaps a lot of the different things is really like weighing on her because he maybe feel like, well, dang, I don't really know if I like this man fully yet, and now I just have to like put on this show, like be all on display for like all these like for everybody, and it's almost like people are documenting like the little pitfalls and stuff. So I could definitely see that like sure maybe she was like maybe she looked at him and was like, I mean, you can have at least matched the pants to the like ballet ensemble. You can at least like make sure.
Sheree, you can't comment on nobody outfits, okay?
I can comment on
Don't
whatever
talk
I
about
want
brother.
to.
Don't
I
talk
know
to
it's
him.
not
We ain't getting
talk,
married.
but I'm gonna
Nope.
talk anyway.
And first of all, because if he got married, we would pull him together. He wouldn't be up there in no blue pants because I'd be backstage. Like, nope,
No
nope,
blue
nope.
pants. Not with no
Not them blue pants,
plums
sir.
jacket.
Sir, pull it back. No, sir. Somebody get him some black pants. Somebody go to the JC Penney.
Somebody dye his hair. Cause we love Sharif.
But I wanted to say I kind of agree with Sharif.
Not dye his hair.
I think she was in that position where it's like you are like, yeah, I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm doing this. And you just keep pushing yourself. And then I think she had an anxiety attack. If I'm being like not just telling jokes, I think it was really an anxiety attack. Like, I can't believe I actually am doing this. Like, it's in theory something that I wanted to do, but now it's like reality. I'm standing up here saying vows, talking about spending my life with somebody. I don't know this man, and he got on blue pants.
Crying. So since Alani brought it up, let's circle to this. So the reaction of Miles when Karen basically put it out there that she had intel on him. Me personally, I don't like you. I love Karen. and I give her benefit of the doubt.
Hold on.
But
You
she
didn't ask Shadai
lied.
what he thinks.
Okay, sorry. Should I? What do you think about Karen crying at the altar?
I think. Well, I said this last episode that she was never fully committed to the process. So I think when she like, even though she like saw his Instagram stories and like stalked him, basically, he was never like a. He still wasn't a real person. But then once she stood in front of him, it all came like forward to her that like this is real. Like that this is like a real moment. Like he's just not like what's it called, social media personality. Like he's the actual person, and then like all the emotions came flowing through.
Right. So what you're saying, Shaddai, if I can just really dissect what you just said, is that right now it's like when you're online, you're like two different people almost. Yeah. So it's like the online version of who he is maybe didn't fully line up with what she thought she saw in person, and that's also causing some of the like conflicting emotions.
Yeah. Well, she didn't like what she saw on social media, and when she got up there, it seemed like she still was out here not feeling it.
But I'm just wondering personally, and of course, we may see if it plays out later in the season. But what I'm wondering is if maybe part of what she saw in person, what her not liking it, is still tied strictly to social media. It's like she still is in, like Sabrina was saying, it was very theoretical, quote unquote, for a long time, and now it's practical. Now it's actually happening. So maybe she's still caught up in like her perception of him before this moment, and now it's like she has to work to break down her own construction of this person in her mind and really like allow for the real person to come through in this situation.
Okay, but my thing is when he asked her about it, when he asked her about the fact that she had, intel into him, she said it wasn't a problem. So I'm like, is that lie a lie that is necessary in order to move the relationship forward? Or was she wrong for lying about the fact that she had a panic attack? Because I think she was wrong for that.
I don't think she lied about having a panic attack. Um, I think what she did lie about is that what she saw online didn't bother her, because that's basically saying like, oh no, you're fine. Like the persona you project is okay with me, and when it's not, and so later down the line, when he's just being the same person he's always been, and then she has an attitude. He's like, but I thought you said this wasn't a problem. Like, when did this become a problem? And then he's like, well, when I like first, then it comes up and it's like, well, why did you wait till now to be like, this is a problem? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like, and then you want me to change like after all this time, like when I could have been working on it and you just expect it to happen overnight. Like, that's where issues arise. You hear me?
I do think that it was good that she told him in the first place, because really she didn't have to. She could have just kept that a little secret to herself. And I think that it's a positive thing that she did tell him, like, I already had prior knowledge. But yeah, she should have been truthful about how it made her feel and like what like the perception that she got from him off of that.
I think this opens up a very interesting question. I just want to ask the room just to survey how y'all think about this. So, what would you say your opinion is on like investigating people's social media and stuff before you meet them in a romantic context? Like Lacey, I know you were talking about date. Like I know you talked about like, how you're in a relationship. So I was wondering when that process was like first getting started before you like really decided to become more exclusive to each other. How did you go about meeting and finding out about this person before you necessarily like had the opportunity or the openness within each other to really just share intimately like that?
Okay, so my current partner, he actually knows one of my line sisters, and they went on a cruise together before. And she thought he was amazing. She thought he like was awesome, had a great personality, etc. They didn't really have any like in-depth conversations with him, but I am a big believer in stalking social media. I want to know who you following. I want to know who's commenting on your page. I want to see if the girl that give you hard eyes is, your type or not. I want to see if the girl who gave you hard ice is married or in a relationship, is kind of have an idea of, okay, this girl's trying to secretly get at you. I want to know all of that. So I don't fault Karen for stalking him when she had the information, but I do fault her for when the conversation was brought up that she wasn't 100% forthcoming with how she felt by the information she received from the social media. That's my problem.
I feel like in the age of social media, a lot of people meet off of social media in the first place. So it's like you were on their page before you knew them, and you were looking at their page, or before you knew them well, at least you were already on their page. You were already looking at their stuff, and then that's what prompted the relationship or the talking stage or whatever. And I do think that in the context of the show, though, that she shouldn't have done it, because the whole point is that you don't know the person, you don't know anything about them. It's a blind leap of faith, and you're supposed to just go with whoever they set you up with. That was the premise, and so I feel like in the context of the show, that was unnecessary. But I can't say that I would do differently, because I'm an anxious person, and I would be like, ah.
So let me ask Sabrina. So Sabrina, do you feel like if you would have been in Karen's position and you would have been privy to have access to Miles' social media, do you feel like you would have went through it?
And this is when I bring it back to the producers, because I feel like the producers should have taken their phones, because I'm also a high anxiety type person. And I'm like the type of person that I like to know where I'm going, where I'm going to get there, what time I could be there. I'm a very detail oriented person. It makes me feel more comfortable. So yes, I would have totally cyber stalked him, but also I would have went in trying to think the best. But it's one of those things, if you already create a narrative in your mind, the things you watch are going to play into that narrative, because he could be a very balanced person, but if you already going in trying to nitpick things, then you can turn anything into a good or bad depending on how you see it. Because people, like, when I got married, my husband's whole family had one perception of me and it's an accurate perception, but they didn't see the full picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna act like I'm an angel, but like, when you don't see somebody at the highlight reel that you think that is supposed to be, a person is a full person. He might have an emotionally intelligent side. He might have a funny side, or this side, or that side. If you only choosing to like look at one side, you can make up any narrative you want. So I think it was wrong for her to go looking, but I don't blame her. I blame the producers, because they really shouldn't allow them to have their phones, and they should have a better way of like disseminating information to people.
You do know, like, the house they got the message though. They had to communicate to the people where to meet. They just screwed up and text the wrong people.
Yeah, but that's why you have an itinerary and you can have somebody hand deliver it. Just like you have a producer knock on the door for interviews, you have somebody knock on the door to give you a schedule. They should take your phones at least 24 to 48 hours before, if not during the whole process, if they really want to keep it on lockdown, like they do for the other reality shows like Big Brother and all that. They should take your phone. That way, or have somebody in charge of your phone that you give permission to, like, look at certain things. It should be something where you can't that doesn't happen.
They
Right.
did it
I
on
think that's a
purpose.
good point, Sabrina. Like, for example, the show The Bachelor. On The Bachelor, which could have a kind of similar premise of people all gathering together to like try to like win dates or like get married to someone that they don't really know before. Like, of course, it's slightly different with this show, but I think the same thing is like with The Bachelor. You don't have your phones. You don't really have all this access of information about the person. So I do think that what could have been done is how, like, for example, on like Flavor of Love or The Bachelor, whatever, whenever they have the little date cards, it just says blank. This is for insert names here. Meet. This is like the location. This is the time we meet in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It could have been so easy for them to just kind of like send them a little like postcard or whatever. Be like, okay, here's the event. Here's when you need to be there. Anything else, you can contact this email, this phone number, for questions, comments, concerns, and that would lead directly to the production line. So that way they don't have contact with each other, but that way they could still keep in contact with a production team and all that in case something came up that they needed to like ease into, or they needed someone to ease their little discomforts about the situation.
Y'all believe
Samuel,
in
how would
burning
you
down
feel?
trees.
Samuel, how would you feel if one of your friends knew who, like, say you did this situation, one of your friends knew the information and didn't share with you? Because her bridesmaid didn't have to tell her.
I wouldn't
Her
really care.
bridesmaid could have pretended like she didn't get the message or just quickly deleted it.
Honestly, what I'm gonna expect my groomsmen to do is from the people that I pick. If they would have got a message like that, first of all, they're gonna do the information first because they're gonna be nosy. They're gonna determine if it even matters to tell me because they know that I'm already going into this thinking I don't know who it is. So they know I'm already crazy enough to do it. So there's no point of showing me this because at this point I'm doing it. But they want to know who it is. So they might tell me, they might not tell me. Either way, I wouldn't really care. Because, like I said, I already decided to go in this and marry this stranger anyway. Like, okay, so the night before I get to see who the stranger is, whoop de doo, this changes nothing.
Come on now. If you saw the girl and the girl was hurt and the girl was not nothing that she was trying to at all, she was not cute. She came from a horrible family. Her profession was trash. She's gonna be a bum, sucking you dry. You gonna feel away. Don't lie.
But what I'm saying is they're gonna do that research before me and to figure that out if that's a problem. They're gonna be like, hey, this is a problem. They're not gonna be like, oh, so here's the social media if you want to go through it if you want. They're gonna be like, it's gonna be with the purpose. They're gonna show me with the purpose. If they show me, I'm not gonna care.
And I agree with Sam, with what Sam just said. I do think that at this point, if you've signed up to go in this process, then you got skin in the game now. So it's kind of like at this point, I've still got to go through with it. It's going to be what it's going to be. I feel like a lot of times what people get caught up on is this whole idea of like, oh, now I made this situation, now I'm going to overthink it. Like at this point, the decision's been made. Just ride the wave.
And see, I'm too anxious for that.
Which I think is fine, but at the same time, it goes back to knowing yourself and really knowing what you signed up to do. And for example, me, I'm the type of person to where I'm not just about to marry somebody without making sure that you got all the checklist items. That's a waste of all of our time. But because I know that about myself, I wouldn't do this in the first place. But if I ever was like, you know what, I'm not getting no younger. I feel like my peak days are gone. I'm just kind of just biding my
We
time
might
till
as well
death.
do this.
I'm waiting to get called home to glory. You know what? I I feel like, you know what? Let's get married at first sight. Then at that point, I already knew what I was signing up for. You just gotta go with it.
Your wages. We ain't getting no younger, so we might as well do this.
Shut up! Bitter on a wild girl, I must confess. Hey, let's
Let's
get
get
married.
married.
Okay, so do you guys feel like the experts, like, because Olivia, she was super excited at the altar just based off of the cats. She was so
They're gonna
excited.
be perfect together. I feel like they're
She
gonna.
was so excited off of the cats. Do you feel like the expert said, okay, this person said that cat's a deal breaker, and this person said cat's a deal breaker? Let's just mash them together and see what happens. Do you guys agree with that? Because that's kind of how I feel.
Honestly,
Yes,
I
and it's
think it
gonna
does
work.
say a lot about people. I feel like that could say a lot about someone, and I don't mean like in a super like positive negative direction, but like that can show what kind of things you're willing to devote your time, your responsibilities, and your efforts toward. And for some people, trying to be responsible for like a living creature just ain't it. Trying to like make sure like I feel like, and a lot of people might agree with me. I'm not trying to offend nobody. Who all the parents watching, I'm not trying to make nobody upset with this comment, but I feel like pets are kind of like it's kind of like the progress report point before you get to children. It's like, let me just see see if I can like take care of something that like still needs attention, still like needs to be taken care of, but that can be left alone a little bit more often before I have to like commit to like this whole process where you can't really leave this child alone for like the first 3, 4 years of its life. So I feel like this can show like maybe where they're heading at least right now. Like the whole like, oh, we both don't like cats. So maybe that could be a thing of like, okay, right now we're not in the place in our lives where we want to take the responsibility of like having to care for something outside of ourselves. We want to really focus on just nurturing this bond we have with each other and letting everything else fall into play if and when it does.
Or I just hate cats like that.
Yeah, that's possible too. Cats ain't for everybody.
I'm just still stuck on what you said. That ain't it. Because I ain't got time to take care of no cats, no dogs, no somebody else's kid. I ain't got time for none of that, okay?
I want a dog so bad.
Can
Okay.
we move on? Because like I have nothing to say about Brett because Brett sucks, his family sucks, Olivia's sweet, the experts hate her, and for some reason they have cats.
I feel like Brett and Olivia is my second favorite couple.
What?
I got them
Is it
over Karen and Miles.
What?
Like I like their connection. I really do. I like their connection. I feel like you're too hard on them
The
though.
silence.
Brett? You know who Brett is, right? Brett is the
So
one who
far,
left
so good
the
concerning
party
Brett with
early.
Olivia.
Brett tried to wink at the waitress. Brett tried to hit on one of Henry's friends. Brett said that, you know,
Brett was single.
I hope he's cute.
Brett was single.
No, he wasn't. He was engaged.
Ain't you single to married?
No, you single until you
No.
decide that you get married. He wasn't engaged to a stranger yet. They got married at first sight. There was no
Yeah,
engagement.
but they told
He
him
was
he was engaged to tell him he had been selected for the show. He was at a bachelor party, which means he was about to get married. And I think he left early to go on one of his dates.
Exactly what I think. He left early to go get him some last minute punani before he was gonna get married.
Lacey.
Bleep.
Somebody cut that out, please.
That was a respectable term.
Not
and
Okay.
for
that's
YouTube. We doing this on YouTube. YouTube is not great.
Okay, so anyways,
Brett left to get a last minute booty call
yes.
before he committed to the process of marrying sweet little Olivia.
And she gonna be heartbroken because Brett is. I feel like Brett wants to be a good person, and he probably at the core of who he is, he may be a good person, but he is a put on person. He wants to because he puts on when he gets in public. He wants to outdrink you. He wants to show you he can get girls. He wants to be the macho dude that he never was when he was younger, and he got too much
is.
ego. He's
He's
the worst.
he's not the worst. He's just he needs to be able to be nurtured and loved because he's never gotten the chance to be the guy.
You need a therapist, not a wife.
He
Next.
needs love.
Period.
He needs
I mean,
love.
there are therapists, like the
All
experts
he needs is some
who
love and
They don't
affection.
have.
If I am to even try to put myself in Sam's frame of thinking to at least understand maybe where he's coming from, I probably don't understand where you're coming from, but I'm gonna say what I have to say anyway. Maybe he just felt like he needed to get it out of his system. You know what?
The
Because
night
I
before
guess
the
that's
wedding.
kind of what the bachelor party, like just in general, like the whole idea. That's what it seems like it kind of is for a lot of people. At least from what I've heard about, like how they like work from a lot of different people who I know who have gotten married in my life. Whereas this is supposed to be this like last hurrah. This is my last night as a free person, quote unquote. So let me just get all the wild craziness so I can like really like sow my oats and get and plant my little tree somewhere. Get my little family started, like set my roots down. It's like the
We
prelimin
ain't
it's like the
monetized
preliminaries.
nothing.
So maybe Brett's
What?
being a little bit overly friendly, a little bit quick,
Inappropriate.
a little bit explorative, a little bit adventurous. Maybe he's just trying to get that little bit of him out of his system. I don't believe it.
No, you don't
I
get it
don't.
out of your system
I
once
don't
you already
believe it.
decided to get married at first sight. That needs to be out of your system in general before you decide to sign that line and play with Olivia's feelings. No.
You know
How
what?
did
I
it
have
feel with
one
her
last comment.
feelings? Well, I
I
don't
have one
understand.
last comment. I have one last comment about this Brett situation, and then I'm gonna let Brett live. If you not smart enough to wait till at least the camera cut off, you don't need to marry nobody because you could have had your fun after they wrapped. You could have been like, I'm gonna go call Susie Beth Harmonica on the line and give my last hurrah.
Harmonica?
Period.
Harmonica.
Beth Harmonica.
If you can't wait, if you're not smart enough to know that you are being filmed and you can't wait, you are not smart, you're not emotionally enough mature to be married. Because you could
Period.
be a liar and a cheater. Don't be dumb.
Thank you, Sabrina. Okay? He's just stupid. He's a negligent idiot. He's stupid and stupid. He's stupid on top of stupid. Like, come on. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it at all. Okay, so we're gonna get into if do you does anyone have any comments on Brett, Olivia, Woody, Amani, Karen, and Miles?
I
I
would just
have
like to say, I think that Woody and Amani's wedding pictures were the best because all his friends or his brothers, his cousins, whoever, they all had on matching suits with matching sunglasses, and that was so player. It made the picture so player. So that they had to win. They had to win for me.
I'm just
I
gonna
just want to
say
make a comment. Oh, go ahead, Sharif.
Woody. I'm just gonna say like he kind of looked like Nipsey Hussle a little bit.
No,
Like
don't no
How?
stop
as
no.
far as as far as
No.
the outfit
Oh,
choice, it reminded me very much of like red carpet at the Grammys. I think that it looks very like, and to my point and bring that up, as I think that they looked very well together. They look more like like a couple than other. Everybody else kind of looks like they're two people put together. They look more like they are a couple already. Their outfits kind of like coordinate. They have similar color themes together, but not in a way to where it's like, oh, it's common, but in a way to where it does seem like individualized, but it looks like they've compartmentalized two parts of themselves. So I just think
You
that
know
their
what?
outfit choices were very good.
I like the fact that to me they were the most honest and authentically like themselves. I feel like with them two, I wasn't seeing nobody representative. I wasn't seeing nobody, I'm gonna try to put on my face and act like I'm not who I am. I feel like Amani came in like, "Oh y'all, why y'all let me do this?" That's my favorite part. And then when she
I
got
love
up there
that
and she was
too.
like,
I just love
"I'm
her.
nervous, you nervous?"
hold on,
I
hold
thought
on,
they were,
hold
I
on.
thought they were so
Wait,
cute.
I just
Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Go ahead.
no, that's what she was doing. I was just mimicking her.
I thought they were so cute when he was like heck of flirting with her, and she was like, "Oh, you just gonna keep flirting with me?
You're
You
doing
like
a lot of heavy flirting.
He's like, I
you
can't feel my
want to be flirting?"
wife.
And he's like, "I can't flirt with my wife." She's like, "You can," and it was just so adorable. I'm like, I love it. I
They
love
match very well.
I like it because they know they were like realistic in their vows of saying, I know we don't know each other, but I'm hoping these things come true and that we could like whatever's on these paper like come to be in reality. I just like that they were just keeping it. It seemed like they were just just keeping it real the whole time. He was still respectful, but she was still open to it. She realized she was getting a stranger, and then you could tell she was still a little apprehensive, but she was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And if it don't work, it ain't gonna work. And I feel
And
like
she
he
thought
was
he
the
was
same way.
attractive, so it helped.
Yeah. But I also feel like with him, his mama was like, you don't have to do this. He was like, I'm here now. We doing it.
Right.
Like he wasn't like sweating and being all extra about it. He was just like, okay, we here. Let's do this. And he was just himself. He was bouncing and all this. It was just very cute to see because after all these seasons of people acting like they don't know what show they signed up for, I was like, finally, some people who act like I'm gonna call you my husband, I'm gonna call you my wife. We go pretend until and they go fake it till they make it. They was like, we
And they
go,
gonna
and
make
he
it.
kept
They
asking,
gonna make it. I got faith in them.
but
That's
yeah,
my
he
favorite
kept
couple.
asking every time, "Are you comfortable with this?" And she's like, "Yes." Are you comfortable with that? Yes. How close can I get to you? Close as you
We
want
love
to.
consent.
Yes.
Is my
Exactly.
hand in the right spot? Yeah, you okay?
Exactly.
Yes.
Woody is so respectful and he's so patient. He wants to make sure
And so was Miles.
yes, so is Miles. And he wants to make sure that she is comfortable at all points of the process. I'm a Woody stan. I love Woody. I love his
I'm
personality.
a Woody fan too. I
I'm
like Woody more than
I'm gonna
Miles now.
marry. I want to
Elani's a
marry
Miles
Woody.
fan
Okay, can
for
I
sure.
switch places with Amani?
What'd you say, Sam?
I said Elani for sure is Team Miles.
He's wholesome to me. It's like how I love
I'm more
Brandon
Team
because he's
Woody
weird
than
and
Team Miles.
adorable.
Like Miles was here, and then Woody was like kind of here. Now Woody's here, and Miles is like here because I feel like Miles is going to try to be the person that Karen wants him to be, even if that's at the detriment of who he really is. And I want him to be honest with what he's feeling because I feel like in that moment where she was like stalking him, he was really disappointed, and they both was just sitting there lying to each other. Instead of him saying, like, oh, I'm kind of upset that you got to see me first because I wanted it to be a surprise. But he was like, oh, okay, da da da. He just go with it. Whereas Woody,
That's true.
he just like, you wear makeup every day. Like he just gonna say whatever's on his mind, which is annoying. But at least he gonna say what's on his, what he's thinking.
Say I got a lot
So
of
it's no facade.
Okay, are we ready to go to the cliffhanger?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So I love the cliffhanger. I love how it like kind of ends and you're like, "Oh, we know each other. Oh, this is not the first time we actually met." But you don't really know how they know each other. You don't know if they've dated before. You don't know if there's any background history. You just know that this is not the first time they met each other. But from what we've saw and from what we've learned about Amelia and Bennett, do we feel like them knowing each other is going to be a bad thing or a good thing?
It's malo.
It depends on how they knew each other.
It's malo.
But when
What
they
that
said
mean?
I know him, it wasn't like, oh, I know him. It was like, I know him. Like,
I just never mind. I was gonna say something. I love Amelia. I just want her to close her mouth.
What do you mean?
The whole time she was looking just like how you was looking right then when you opened your mouth to ask me what do I mean. She was like the whole time. I know you surprised, but close your mouth. I love her.
she's
I love
very
her.
expressive.
You know what? I also will tell everybody that she's probably the most fashionable in the old school sense of fashion, like high fashion, because that bird in her hair was very Carrie Bradshaw. And, I'm giving it to Amelia because she wanted a floofy dress. She wanted a bird in her hair. And she's another one like Woody and Amani, who I think is 100% authentic. She was like, I don't care if I don't know this man. I'm wearing a bird in my hair and he go deal.
And my bridesmaids is coming down on tricycles with their veils over their face, and we gonna do this thing.
And
Exactly.
everyone gonna be confused, but oh well, I love it.
Exactly. It's my way and I'm gonna do what I want, which is why he should have been able to wear his hat.
Right, I was not for that hat when he was trying on outfits, but once I saw what it meant, I was like, he could have worn his hat. He really could have worn that hat because she would have been like, bet, period.
I just feel like the bird is fashionable. The hat was tacky. No, no, no.
So, Sharif, what are your closing thoughts? What are your closing feelings on this whole episode? Summarize, go.
Hmm. I think that, as everybody has said, that Imani and Woody feel like right now they're the most themselves. They're very much committed to bringing their whole self to the table and just letting it be what it is. And I think that's a very important thing for a process like this. Because if you're going to like try to like be something you think the other person needs, you're going to miss out on being who they actually need. I think right now, again, Brett and Olivia don't really know what else to say. They have each other and great gowns, beautiful gowns, gorgeous, phenomenal. Um, Karen, Karen and Miles, I really do hope that maybe Karen can learn. Well, not necessarily learn, but maybe Karen can start feeling more comfortable to really voice how she's actually feeling on the inside, and not rely on Miles to try to like interpret her feelings for her, and then make assumptions and make judgment calls based off of how he thinks he's supposed to react to things. And I hope that Miles can, in turn, learn to be more grounded and affirmed in who he is, so that way she can make an accurate judgment call for if it's a good thing for her to like continue with. Because I think right now both of them are holding something back, and if they're both holding back, then they won't really know if the person that they are with is actually going to be able to like support them, help them grow. It's like you want to find someone who's like your equal. You don't really want to feel like someone's putting you on a pedestal in a relationship, because then you feel like you have to like be their Superman all the time, or be like the Superwoman or whatever, or like, you have to be the hero archetype, you have to be the savior. And no one really wants that. They just want someone who they know that like, you're going to take care of me as I take care of you.
Yes. Okay, should I give your closing remarks on Olivia, the cat lady, and Brett, the cat man? That's a hoe.
I think Olivia and Brett, their relationship is going to be interesting because Olivia seems way more reserved than Brett, does. Um, they don't really seem that. I mean, they obviously both said they're attracted to one another, but even with that attraction, they don't really seem like to really mesh well together, which is kind of odd.
I agree with you, Shaddai. They definitely feel like they're from two different worlds almost. Who are like, they have some things that are kind of like similar within their own individual worlds, but those worlds don't really intertwine. Like one thing that I thought about was during the like little, after the wedding where they're having the like reception and they're like having their friends and whatnot, give toast and whatnot. You see Olivia with her like glass of champagne and Brett's drinking like some can of beer. So I feel like in that case, that was one of the like very minor things that maybe doesn't really mean anything, but to me, I caught up like that caught my eye. It's like this whole like, oh, this is kind of how I carry myself when I go out. This is like my idea of like fancy, my idea of like a certain level of class, a certain level of like dignification, and he's more of a kind of like a white frat boy archetype.
That fool, she asked him, do you like to travel? He said, well, I don't have a lot of disposable income. I said, he poor, girl, run, girl.
Sharif just said that Brett is broke. Okay, he's like, you broke.
That was some English class level. Like, look at this picture. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you can analyze this picture.
Sharif said, I see brokenness. I see lack of wealth.
It's giving soup kitchen.
Wait.
It's very wifey. Bro,
It's giving soup
shut up.
kitchen.
Don't talk to me. Get your bread out.
Did he say it's giving soup kitchen?
Okay, we gotta hurry up because we're losing light. Okay, so Sam,
Yeah, it's getting a little dark. A
Sam,
little dark sided.
what is your closing remarks on Karen and Miles?
Yeah, they're just my least favorite of the three couples that's weddings I've seen. They're my least favorite because I just don't feel like Karen's in it. And I feel like all the other couples are more in it.
Anything to say, Sabrina Lynn Robinson?
I would like to
Airing out her whole government.
name on the internet.
You do not have to put her government out there like that.
On God's internet.
I would
We exposing government.
I would also like to say Lacey Rochelle Dakis since we put names out into the ether. Miles and Karen will probably stay together, but they will have a lot of work to do because I feel like Miles will constantly be trying to please Karen, and I don't know how long it's going to take her to try to reciprocate that or accept it. So I feel like she's constantly just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And even if he is sincere, which I think he's a sincere dude, but I also think that he's doing things like he's a people pleaser. So that's them. Whatever. I think they might end up being lightweight boring. They don't just seem fun. Like everybody else I was watching, I was like, this is an interesting concept. This is an interesting show. This is interesting. I want to see how this progresses. The only people that made me like actually be smiling at the TV like I was on something was like Amani and Woody. I felt like I was at their wedding, like I was their cousin. Like I wanted to be there. You know? Like when he said hi to the family, I was like, hey Woody, like, you know. when everybody was talking about how great she was and they was like Shaw Liz, I was like Shaw Liz. When they was taking pictures,
I love black people.
and I found myself like, oh, like they just have a different kind of something about them that you could tell that they go elevate a room when they walk in, like, and I feel like she's just enough for him because he likes to be the center of attention, and I think she's a good like accessory to shine the light. So she has the light; she can shine her light on him, and he'll be happy with that because she also is going to like compliment him well and make him look good because her personality just will drop even more people to them.
Yep. Okay, Leilani, closing remarks on the episode. Closing remarks.
I love black people.
Absolutely.
Where's this hat?
That's all you gotta say. Period. We love black people. Okay, black power. All right.
I want them to work. I also want Bennett and Amelia to work. But I want the black couples. I wish them. I hope they prosper. I hope
prosper and be in good health. What, Sharif?
Bennett reminds me of when I was in band. Is that like his little outfit is like adorable? It looks like some guy would wear to a concert.
We're not even on them yet. Okay, they're next episode.
I mean, you see his outfit though.
That's true. But anyways, okay, thank you guys so much again for tuning in to another episode with us. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the Crazy Family. We love you guys. We're so thankful that you're watching us.
I'm not crazy.
And we'll see you again next week for season 11, Married at First Sight, episode 3.
Can we title this episode Beautiful Gowns?
Yeah!
Blue pants.
Not
the blueberries. And
Blue
the purple.
pants, beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns, beautiful pants.